Hello. Hi. Welcome to Retired in France. I'm Dan.
And I'm Susan.
This is our first video. We want to talk to you about the reasons why we decided to retire in France. And also, we'll talk about our first-hand experience. We spent a significant amount of time in France before choosing to retire in France. So we hope that our observations will be helpful to you in deciding if France is the right place for you to retire.
So reason number one is the French lifestyles. We noticed in our travels that the French really enjoy their joie de vivre, where they emphasize time spent with family and friends. They love to socialize, especially around food and drink, which is two of our favorite things to do. And they appreciate the beauty of life. So when we are in France, our pace of life slows down and we really take the time to enjoy our surroundings and notice things. So.
It's an active lifestyle too. In the States, we used to drive everywhere. In France, you walk everywhere. But there's also an outstanding transportation system. When we were in Paris, we could take the subway, could take the bus, we could take the regional trains, we could fly to another country we could take a high-speed train and go to a different city 3 hours, 4 hours away, and they cover distances really fast, those trains, like 200 miles an hour type of trains. By walking to places like this so much, we ended up adding so many steps, like 25,000 steps per day, and you don't realize it because everywhere you go there's something more interesting to see. You turn the street corner, you see a building, a market, and you just explore, and time goes by, and the steps add up.
All right, and number three is the cultural experience of being in France. So in France, you're surrounded by thousands of years of history, which we don't have here in the States. The cities are open-air museums, really. One thing that's fascinating too is that the museums are priced so that the entrance admission fees are reasonable. I mean, you are eligible to buy an annual pass, like we did for the Louvre and for the
Musée d'Orsay.
Well, Musée d'Orsay, thank you. And so the annual pass ended up costing us, like, I think 67 euros per person or something to that effect. And an admission price is 25 euros. And we ended up going like 8 times easily to the museum, to the Louvre only.
Yeah. The Louvre is just too big to see in one go.
Oh, it's huge.
You have to go back several times, and when you go, you pick one section, one of the wings and one of the floors. Really,
it's overwhelming. And Musée d'Orsay is absolutely spectacular as well. And for Musée d'Orsay, we were able to buy an annual pass with a buddy, right? You can go in with a buddy. So we had one annual pass, and he was my buddy. He'd come with me all the time, or if we had friends or guests in town, we would take our guests. So, fantastic bang for the buck.
The fourth item on the list is the food. The food is just amazing in France. It's one of the UNESCO World Heritage. The French food is one of the UNESCO World Heritage. So is the baguette, by the way. And we had plenty of baguettes. We spent 4 months in Paris, and every morning we would get our baguettes. So it's really awesome. Most restaurants are cheaper than what you find in the States. We live in Southern California, so everything's expensive, but in restaurants, for instance, what you see on the menu is what you pay. The tax is included, the tip is included. All of this is already, you go in, you look at the menu, this is what you'll end up paying. So this is great, and the food is fantastic, and there's several places to go. There's also a lot of markets, so people don't do the Costco run and come back with 2 weeks worth of food. They shop every day. They go to the local markets. Every neighborhood has a bakery. You name it.
Yeah.
Everything is in every neighborhood. Every neighborhood is like self-contained for the food that you need.
In the larger cities, that is. Not in the villages, obviously, but in the larger cities.
Yeah,
the ones that we visited.
Paris, and Nice is a bit like that
yeah,
too. But
very much so. The fifth reason why we're going to France is the car-free living. We are looking forward to having no car in France. We were in Paris. We certainly didn't need a car ever in Paris, and we did make the mistake of renting one once. We'll never do that again.
As an experience.
that we'll save that for another video. But we love the fact that you can get on public transportation. The transportation is efficient. It's clean. It's safe for the most part. In Paris and in Nice as well. Nice, the public transportation in Nice is amazing. Paris has 2 international airports. Nice has 1 international airport, believe it or not. That's about 10 minutes tram ride from the city. And you can go anywhere in Europe fairly cheaply, really, through our Ryanair and some of the discount airlines. And the train tickets are very reasonable. And of course, as a senior, you get more discounts. And so you can take advantage of that as well. So there's really, unless you want to go in a little village in a remote area, there's really no reason to have a car as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
And if that comes up, we'll just rent a car and we'll.
Cost of living in general, which is our sixth reason to go to France, is housing, food, groceries. The things you buy, the goods you buy are in general cheaper. I think the only couple of things that were more expensive were gasoline and
maybe some electronics.
If you want to buy a cell phone or a computer, it's more expensive there. Yeah. But the cost of living in general, especially compared to where we live in Southern California, it's cheaper. Even Paris. After 4 months in Paris, we felt it was cheaper to live in Paris than to live in Southern California.
By a lot, I think so. So the next thing that makes it really easy for Americans to go to France is the visa. The visa process is really very streamlined. You go to the TLS, I think it's a center now, the TLS centers. But once you have all of your paperwork put together, which is really not that complicated to put together, it's relatively straightforward. You make an appointment, and your appointments are quick you're usually able to get an appointment within a month. Now things may be changing. I don't know. We haven't had an appointment, had to make an appointment in a while. And usually the turnaround for the visa, once you've met with the representative of the TLS, they turn around in a week or 2. So
2 weeks.
It's been our experience, and everybody that we talk to have had their turnaround that quickly. So the visa process is very streamlined. Yeah, it's very nice, very easy. Yeah.
Hey, reason number 8 is healthcare. Healthcare is one of the best healthcare systems in the world in France. The quality is high, the availability is high, the affordability is very affordable. It's really not expensive to use healthcare. I had to use it myself. I had to go to the emergency room because I had a congestion that wouldn't go away. So I went in. 30 minutes into the waiting room, 30 minutes included the visit with the doctor. Right. I was out of there in less than 30 minutes in total. Yeah. And I had 3 prescriptions. We went to the local pharmacy close to where we were renting the Airbnb. I had a congestion, $18 out of pocket, and it was funny because they were apologizing because I had to pay $18, which is amazing. It's lower than the copay. Yeah. The doctor visit they billed us afterward was $67
for an ER visit at a hospital in
ER
Paris.
Visit. Our copay is higher than that in the States, right?
Way higher. Yeah.
So just this experience was great. That doesn't mean every experience is like that, but we had a friend.
I had a friend who came to visit, and she showed up with a dislocated finger. And so the first thing we did was go to the ER. And that was before we went to the ER for him. That was our first experience with healthcare. She was in it, and this was a Friday afternoon, so we were expecting a long wait. She was in about 2 hours of x-rays, and they repositioned the finger, and they put they put some bandages around it. She never did get a bill for that visit. They did take all her information, her address and everything, but she never did receive the bill. We did receive our bill, but she didn't. But we were very impressed by the fact that it went so quickly, and that it's hard to beat. We had another situation where the beauty of the healthcare system in France too is that the pharmacies are incredibly useful. We had a relative come visit us who needed medication. They'd forgotten her medication in the States, and we were like, what are we going to do? And so we went to the pharmacist and we asked them if it's possible to fill a prescription, and they would have, had it not been for issues that we ran into in the States. So as an alternative, they recommended her to a doctor around the corner. She went to visit him. It was a €50 fee to go see him. He was able to give her an exam and write her a prescription, and she was able to get
it was
the
pretty
medication.
late at night too.
7:30 at night,
7:30
exactly. He was
night.
closing shop, and he stayed open just so that we could go and visit him. And for €50, I mean, that's amazing. In Paris, so it's cheaper outside of Paris. Everything in Paris is always a little more expensive. So the point is, it's and the pharmacies are fantastic resources. So
and the other piece too about the healthcare in France is, as a retiree, when you move there, 3 months after you've lived there,
on a long-term visa,
on the long-term
visa,
the 1-year visa, you can apply for the capita, and the capita, everything will be covered. 70% of everything will be covered.
Yeah.
Plus, if you buy a supplemental insurance to cover the other 30%, that covers everything.
100%.
So it's 100%.
So it's extremely affordable.
And the other piece too is that the cost of even if you have to pay out of pocket, the cost is
Still
10
reasonable.
times less than what it is in the States.
Yeah, we didn't have any coverage when we used their services, and we were really surprised. So I'm very impressed with that. Number 9.
Number 9 is the tax treaty.
Yeah.
So there's this tax treaty between the US and France where there's no double taxation. And what's amazing about this is that your pension income, your retirement income, when you withdraw from your 401k, things like this, the money is taxed in the States. As an American, you have to file a US tax return every year anyway, right? So you file the tax return in the US, and then you file the tax return in France, and their deadline is like 2 months after, so you use the same content. Once you file your tax return, the bottom line is zero to the French government.
Yeah, so it's great. So those are our 9 reasons for retiring in France. I hope that you learned something or that it was helpful to you. And don't forget to subscribe and to like us. And we'll be back with the next video soon. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.